Another day, another stream. That's today. I I realize I'm gonna have to kind of wrangle my brain and my projects into a more gotta wrangle my life, I guess you could say, into a more cohesive sort of thing. That's beyond the scope of a single stream, of course, but it does mean I'm recognizing that I'm starting a lot of these streams without much of a plan. And again, that's happening today. I don't think it's so bad, but I do want to change that vibe over time. Um, so that's running through my mind. But that's okay. I know at the very least what I want to work on today is playing around with more of my free CAD Clojure connection stuff and figuring out how Linux process substitution bash things work, so I can make a cooler one-liner with that. So that's a bit of the work today. If I want to switch things up, I have another little idea for some modeling that I can do, like 3D CAD modeling, but we'll see. We'll just see how things play out. And yeah, that's going to be me. That's going to be it. Let's see here. What's the deal? I do want to while this is happening, actually, give me 1 second here. I wanna do some tweets before I share my screen, because that's a nice, easy thing to start with. Okay, all right, let's go. Right. Let's. Hey, Namless, how's it going? Hope you're well today. Yeah, here I am. Started a little later than otherwise, but here I am. Not bad. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good as well, actually. I am about to switch my screen view to share my actual screen, not just my face. But I'm just tweeting out a link to the latest YouTube video I made. That's all. Uh, I I didn't exactly time it perfectly, but I wanna put the tweet out because I'm gonna totally forget otherwise. So my life is not the most organized at the moment. It's a thing I want to work on, but I don't want to stress myself out because that doesn't help me organize things. Anyway, it's a thing I'm working on. Believe in me, I got this. Thank you. I appreciate that. uh, let's see. Made a new. Uh, That should work, right? Yeah, it's perfect. Let's tweet another thing. Also, live. And chatting. Any new projects on that you're working on there, Namlas? Any fun code or hobby related stuff you've got going on? I should automate this sort of thing. Tweets and stuff. Well, there we go. All right, now we're cooking. Okay. All right, let's zip on over to here. There we go. Boom. All right, so what I got going on today is a little bit of free CAD dev again. I was in the middle of, let's pop open a REPL here. And, oh yeah, this was something I had up for that video I made. That's okay. Oh, you got a project going on? You're making a web page that'll encrypt and hide any file within an image. Ooh. Oh, what's that called? That's really cool. That's awesome. Hide data in PNG. What's that called? Cryptostenography or something like that? Steganography. Yeah. Is that? Yeah. There you go. That's so cool. I've watched. I think they were computer file videos on YouTube about that, and it was fascinating. It seems like pretty clever algorithms, and that sounds like a fun project. Good stuff. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, I was process substitution Linux. Right. Man, that's a great project. So when you say web page, is it like does it run all in JavaScript on the client side, or do you have like a server running something in the back end, and then you upload through a web page or something like that? Or is it oh, what are they called? Or is it like it will send a request to the server? Is it like a yeah, it's okay, cool. Um, there's a name for. Is it a CGI script? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Where I think I've seen it described. Hey, Emerison, how's it going? I hope you're well today. Or this evening. Maybe it's later for you. I can't remember what time it might be in. I think you're in Germany, right? Okay, process substitution, that's what I'm curious about. You know what I'll do? I'll zip this over here. There we go. Now we're all on one screen here. Okay. Load file. Got a beard, looks nice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I grew it myself. The honest truth is I just haven't felt like shaving in a while. It's a laziness beard. But I can't grow enough up here, so I get to play around with this here. I appreciate it. Load file, source. Still nice. Thanks. Yeah, I think it looks okay. Agree, it looks great. All right, 2 vote. Well, that's 3 total votes for the beard. That's a good win so far. So how am I? Oh, Marison, I'm doing really well. So I haven't been streaming until I started again last week because I drove across Canada and because I moved to Vancouver. So I've been slowly adjusting to living in a new city, uh, not seeing the same friends and family anymore, that sort of stuff. So, it's exciting to move to a new city, but it's also a little sad that I can't see all my friends from Ontario. But I still have friends out here, so it's been really nice. And so I've been in a really good mood. New sights to see, that kind of stuff. When it comes to working on my code, I've got to get my head in the game a little bit, but take it day by day. Any particular reason why you moved? I do not mind you asking. That's totally cool. Um, the short answer is I just wanted to. Well, I was living in a small city about an hour drive away from Toronto in Ontario. And I just didn't like it there. Like I knew that I didn't want to live there for the rest of my life or even that long. My plan was I had I was working at the family business. We manufacture greenhouses, and for several reasons I realized that that wasn't going to be a good fit for me, so I quit. And once I did that, there was no longer any physical necessity for me to stay where I was living. So the only thing keeping me there was the close connection to family and friends in the area. So I actually stayed for quite a while, even though I didn't quote unquote have to. But I was getting, I was feeling stuck and bored in Ontario, and I picked Vancouver as a pretty good place to move. It's in the same country. I mean, there's a pandemic on, so it's not necessarily easy or smart to move anywhere. Um, I had never been to Vancouver before. It looked like a great place, and it seemed to fit my lifestyle a little more. So rolled the dice and moved. That's the short story of why I decided to move. I think that makes a little bit of sense. Understand? That's great. Quite the adventurer. Oh, I guess so. There's plenty more adventuring to do yet, but Vancouver's a good hub for for adventures. Um, so I had for about 2 years I had lived in the Netherlands, and I got really used to biking everywhere. So I really missed that in Ontario. Vancouver as a city has a pretty good bicycle culture, as in drivers are pretty used to a lot of cyclists, and cyclists pay attention to the road rules and all that kind of stuff. So I bought a bike, and I've been so happy with that. I'm probably gonna sell my car. So that bit of lifestyle change has been really nice. What did I do in the Netherlands? Um, I'm gonna answer the question, but I'm gonna let myself completely remember what I have to type here just for one brief second, because otherwise I'll just be staring at this all day. Model.cljc. Yes. Yeah, and then the other one is FCS. Okay, so we got some error there, but that's okay. Right, so what did I do in the Netherlands? I worked at a company called Hortemax, like this, and it was related to the greenhouse industry. Pardon me. Do apologize, can easily derail the workflow. Oh, I say this to any people in chat. Do not at all feel like you have to stop chatting or anything like that. You can always do it. It's completely up to me to respond or not respond to what you're saying. So ask questions, talk with other people in the chat. Everything is totally cool. It seriously, it's not it's not an issue. It's my choice to engage or to disengage as needed. So never fear that. And if you asked a question and I happen to miss it, it's okay to ask again. I will just straight up say I won't or can't answer whatever question I'm not comfortable answering. So as long as we're all respectful to each other, ask away. I'm totally cool with it. Yeah, so in the Netherlands, I worked at a company that manufactured, what's the right word for it? Mixing units. So in a greenhouse, a big greenhouse, right? You've got plants growing on benches, and you need to water them in some way. And there's almost always a irrigation system with pumps and all kinds of water and whatnot. But to grow plants, you need more than just water. You also need nutrient in there, and the nutrient mixtures change depending on the crop that you grow. So quite simply, you need, or it's desirable to have some big tank where you can measure things like pH and adjust your like the quantities of whatever fertilizers you're putting into the water for whatever crop you need. And you can do that manually. Like you could literally get a big tank and a big bucket and manually pour things in, which I'm sure is what happens at smaller places. But what's way more convenient is to get you buy a frame with a mixing chamber on it, a pump for mixing, and Venturi filters that let you adjust the flow rate of mixture, or pardon me, of fertilizers and nutrient going into the tank, which then is connected to your pipe headers for water distribution out to the crop. Anyway, so different customers will want different amounts of mixture, different flow rates. They'll have different pressure requirements because they might have a bigger or smaller space. And so you need to design and manufacture different things. And then, of course, since they're in the Netherlands, the Dutch are always trying to innovate on things here and there. So you put on microcontrollers to try and automate different parts of the process. And that's what I was doing. That's quite cool. Yeah, it was pretty good. I have a personal dislike of the general corporate structure that most companies have. So there were things that job-wise were frustrating to me, and it wasn't going to be a place I wanted to stay working at. But it was really neat. It was super scary, but it was really neat to live in a different country for a long time. And I mean, the Netherlands is phenomenal. It's a beautiful place. The people are all, the people I encountered were really nice, helpful, considerate. They spoke English, so if you were trying to learn, you could stumble around, but you could always feel comfortable that probably you could still communicate. All of that stuff was really helpful. And of course, it was Europe, right? So it's fun to hop on a train and be in Paris in a few hours. That was amazing. Something went wrong when I loaded this file. What is that? Let's do this. Oops. Source, FreeCAD, FCS. All right, let's see, what's that? Oh, why did I do that? That's super silly. All right, that me too. Me too what? Oh, you think it's super cool that, are you talking about me hopping on a train to Paris or something like that? Sorry, I missed what you were responding to. Let's get rid of this because it's silly. Oh, the corporate structure. Yeah. Sorry, missed that. Yeah, it's it just doesn't work for me. It just doesn't work for me. I to be glib about it, I don't abide authority all that well. And what I mean by that is, um, if a thing is that I'm supposed to do for work, um, clearly a waste of time, I don't want to do it ever. And I think that's a good and normal thing to respond to. Like, humans shouldn't feel compelled to do things that are uh, not worth anything, right? Especially in like a job setting, it's like, what's the point? That seems really silly. So I don't like doing that. And then if I try to bring it up and change things, often enough I had it where my immediate supervisor would say, "Yes, Adam, I see that. You're actually right," and then immediately say something like, "But we have to because of this or because of that." And I don't know. Maybe some people can be like, "Okay, I'll just do it. I'll be calm. I'll be okay." And I can still get my real work done and be fine. But I can't do it. And so I realized that I don't know that it's necessarily good for me to live my life frustrated with stuff like that. So I'm not doing that. Anyway, so I started to see that happening in the Netherlands, and I also started to see that happening in my family's company when I was trying to work in as an engineer there. So the response is it's protocol. Yeah, that's I just it in some hypothetical theoretical thing. What would be I will gladly do things I don't enjoy doing if there's a reasonably good reason for it, right? Like, I don't like going to the dentist, but if you don't, your teeth are not going to be as healthy as they could be. I don't always enjoy certain workouts. I do like working out a lot, but that's a different thing. There are some things I don't like doing, but the reason for doing them are long-term health benefits. So that makes sense. And there's an inherent joy and satisfaction to doing those types of things. But a lot of the stuff I encountered at work was nothing like that. It was work to keep me busy, or work because someone thought it was important but didn't know why, or any number of things that just totally uh, made me miserable. And to be blunt, I refuse to do that. I won't do it. It's not worth it. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's my soapbox rant. See, the thing too is, I can quite comfortably say that everyone that I worked with in the Netherlands, that I spoke to on a reasonable amount of, like, reasonably often, they were nice and good people. They were thoughtful. They worked hard when they needed to. They took breaks and did fun stuff for themselves. So what I hate is that the structure makes the individual people within it worse than they are on their own. It's like the opposite of what you want. It's not a real team. It's like an anti-team. You know? Uh, and I found that anti-team more often than I find the teams. And I think, well, it's a waste of time. It's not worth it. It's ridiculous. Right. So the stuff I'm trying to work on is related to this here, and related specifically to um, um, use process substitution to invoke a single shell call. let's start with messing around with that. Right, so what I would need to do is something, the basics are sort of like this. If I define step, let's define the zero argument version where it just, I hard code the out.step as the name. I can change that later, but I'll start with that. It should be okay. Let's see. So basically I want to run a shell call that calls FreeCAD, and then the argument is going to be, oh wait a minute, I actually need like this. Is that gonna work? Yeah, that should work, I guess. I will just try this. Okay, yeah, so at its most basic, you send some Clojure code into this. You run it through a shell call FreeCAD. Actually, what I would need to do first is spit out.py write FCS of block. Yeah, so that creates a file on disk. Then I call FreeCAD with out.py. This here will shell out to a different process and create out.step. So then my process is basically done. What I could do is shell remove, come on, out.py. I can also do recursively remove PyCache, because it's annoying that it's there. So that should generate a step file automatically. So let's see. Oop. Oh yeah, of course I need to actually bring shell into this whole thing. Ridiculous. Oh hey, Mac, sorry about didn't see you right away. How are you doing today? I hope you're well. Namless there catching me saying hi on my behalf, on everyone's behalf. Audio's a smidge ahead of the video. Oh. Yeah, so the audio synchronization thing, not sure if I can necessarily do anything with that right now. I will keep an eye on my dropped frames and that sort of thing, because things look healthy from my end right now, but it is possible that my roommate is in a video call right now, so it's possible that there's stuff going on there, but I'll do my best. Mac, you doing well? I'm glad to hear you're well. I am also doing well. Just wanted to know if it could save some post-processing. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now I know. I'll have to look into that. If it might not be an issue, I'll find out. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, things are going well with me, actually. I'm pretty happy. So I have a YouTube channel too, and I'm sure that's a bit repetitive now, but the thing is, I really like doing it, but for some reason there's always this big activation energy to like editing the video down and putting it out there. I'm always really happy when I do that, and I just got another video out now, so that's like a nice win for the day, you know? Clojure.java.shell, is that what it is? I can't remember. Huh, looks right. Nope. Oh, yes, of course. Okay. This is not quite what I want to do. I want this as well. Refer shell, the function, not shell, the namespace. Gotcha. All right, let's see if we can get something like this working. Let's define our good old A, which I want to be a cube of 100, 120, and 140. So, you know, when I evaluate that into the REPL, it's the same old simple data structure we've seen before. Nothing crazy going on here. And I want to see what happens when I do out to step of A and see if it actually generates something for me. While that's chugging away, let's actually pop this back into here as well. See if I can't. Okay, it looks like it exited successfully. Please? No. Oh. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. One day soon I want to either revive my old PC or huge brouhaha on the subreddit today regarding the Clojure Together board nominations. 3 months worth of modding. What's going on? Are people unhappy with the board nominations? I haven't heard about this. I don't like to hear the existence of unfortunate drama if that's what's happening. I mean, you know, we're humans, right? Stuff like that is going to be the case. Oh, unhappy with the diversity policy? Uh-oh. That's a can of worms, eh? Shoot, that's too bad. That's a real shame. So I am uninformed and cannot speak with confidence on any opinions of this. So please, one way or another, if I say a thing that is a big can of worms, yeah, for sure. If I say something a little bit off color, that's not the right way to say it. I'm going to withhold a serious judgment because I can't reasonably justify an opinion. I don't know anything about it. So there we go. 150 comments. Yeah, people have opinions on that one, I'm sure. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not going to be fun for the final decision makers on that. Stuff like that is never easy. It's kind of a, yeah, so you're allowed to share if you want there, Mac. Let's not let the let's not infect our chat with too much vitriol, if at all possible. Although I trust everyone here to be no opinion from Mac because you're modding it. Yeah. What the diversity policy is about. And so Clojure Together, that's the funding group, right? If I'm remembering the, yeah, trade. It's a trade organization dedicated to funding and supporting open source software, infrastructure, and documentation that is important to the Clojure and ClojureScript community. So on its face, I think that's a super valuable foundation. Like that as a mission statement, that's super awesome. So I would imagine a lot of people like that, and that's also fuel to the opinion fire, right? It is such a great project. Board noms. Oh, cool. So that's nice. Obviously, I'm not reading through this. Just caught a glimpse of it. Oh no no. Uh oh. I'm not gonna open the thread on my stream. This will be something I might read and make an informed thoughts about off stream. But I'm not gonna get into that one myself right now. Understandable. I didn't mean to bring it here. No, it's cool. Like it's fun to talk. Well, fun. It's just part of the conversation. No worries. Just venting. Yeah, as a mod, I'm sure that's. I'm not laughing at you. It's a sympathy laugh. That's a headache. Well, I mean, come here and relax if you want. Try to be calm and friendly. Humans, eh? We're a tough bunch. Okay, so the reason I was looking at this was to go dev FreeCAD. So by the way, I often will do this. I have my camera it just happens to hide a lot of the terminal here. I usually don't do anything critical in the terminal, just listing folders and files and stuff like that. But if I'm doing something and I'm talking about something and my stupid face is in the way, feel free to let me know. Because I can always do stuff like this. Oops. And try to get it going from there. But usually it's not that big a deal. It's just checking that files exist. cd dev FreeCAD. Right, so yeah, so you can't see it, but behind here there's the file list that I've got going. Hey Mac, what's the plan for work in Vancouver if you have one? So the current plan is to work on building my own company around the ideas that I'm trying to work on stream. So programmatic CAD automation, and custom CAD software tools for small manufacturing companies. So the whole idea is to, from the ground up, set up my life so that I can do all of that work remote. So technically I don't need to live in Vancouver. So that's maybe an ambitious plan, and it's possible that things go sideways. Totally have that in my head, that success or failure are either one can happen. So I'm planning accordingly, and if things go totally sideways in Vancouver, the immediate plans are things like trying to find a gym and being a trainer there, or hopefully more likely trying to apply to remote Clojure jobs at the end of the year if I need to, and just kind of go from there. But that is, I don't have anything more specific because I want to I want to just take it day by day, if that makes sense. So that's not entirely accurate. I've got more specifics that I've been really thinking about, but I don't really care to talk about all of that right now. The focus I want is to see what I can do, shoot my shot and hope for the best, because taking the wide view of my entire life, I do honestly think I will be proud of myself, success or failure. I'll be proud of myself for trying to build a business. I don't know if you were here. I was pontificating to Namlas about how I just cannot work in corporate types of environments, and making my own thing feels like almost a necessity for my well-being and literal survival in this world. But that's being a little bit dramatic. But I don't like I don't like I don't like office politics. I don't like bosses that want me to do things that don't make sense. I don't like all that sort of stuff. So if I can make things work without needing to live that way, then I'll be a happy man. I don't need to be super rich, but I do need to be not anxious all the time. And that's meta level. The real goal is to live without anxiety in a sustainable way. Right, so I do have the out.step file generated from here, which is nice. Remove out.fc this, remove out.fc that. Okay, let's run it one more time just to double check that it actually did generate. Totally with you, it took me longer to learn than you. Oh, well, I kind of, it seems a little bit like it's not like a switch in my head. It's like a slow collection of thoughts and ideas and realizations about the world and myself. You know what I mean? That it just kind of builds over time, right? It's not like things are this way and then whoop, instantaneously they're different. It's not like a step change, although I will say the pandemic certainly caused some step change thinking in my own brain. But yeah, I want to be happy. That's the truth. There we go. So out.step is generated from this set of programs here. So what I want to work on is, so this isn't so bad in the sense that if I look at the folder before I run the thing, it contains no step file. If I look at it after I run it, it contains the same things plus a step file, which is nice. But it's currently being achieved by generating writes to disk. Here, it generates a file. Here, the file we actually want is existing here, and then this deletes from disk the stuff we don't want, which seems silly. So what I'm just going to mess around with is process substitution to see if I can build this into something like this. Block shell FreeCAD magic, where magic is, actually let me write it sort of like this. Magic, hypothetically speaking, right? This is not a real thing. It's some magic that takes write FCS of the block you pass in and passes that as an argument directly into FreeCAD, so I don't have to care about extra rights and stuff like that, or something. Does this actually matter in terms of, like, writing to disk isn't actually that bad of a thing, and deleting files isn't that bad, so this is workable, right? But I kind of just want to try and see if I can understand what process substitution actually does a little more clearly, because that seems like useful information. So that's the first little bit. Oh man. So one of my best friends, the timing was kind of awful. I decided to move to Vancouver, and then he and his wife and daughters moved to like a town 10 minutes away from where I was living. So for like a month and a half, we were hanging out all the time. They're one of my best friends, and you know, getting to know his daughters and stuff like that. It was so fun. But now I'm here, so I don't get to see their family all that often. It's one of his daughter's birthdays, so he was just texting me about that. I can't see everyone in person, but I am super happy that there's nice ways to connect with the people we love still. So that's a thing I'm happy about. Okay, process substitution. So it pipes the standard out of a command into the standard in of another. But, oh no, sorry, that's just normal piping. But if you need to pipe the standard out of multiple commands, this might actually be not what I need. So these here, I don't know what this is. This seems like a temp file or something, dev/fd/whatever. Is that what that is? It's like if you echo and then you pipe that into dev null. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. Never mind. Oh, this is cool. That's a fun one-liner, actually. I'm not sure this is actually what I want to achieve. So what I actually want is something that's basically like this. I want to be able to do free CAD, and then here I have valid Python code. Instead of passing a file name in as the argument, I want FreeCAD to just take the code from the input directly, but that doesn't work. It doesn't do anything. It launches FreeCAD successfully, but that's not correct. So that process substitution might be the right way to go. But this here, I hate cookie banners. It's annoying. So I was looking at this, and dev standard in, which represents the standard input. The echo command and the pipe sends the contents well, okay, so let's try this with Python. Oh, let me start this over. Echo print hello. Oops. There we go. That was horrible. Let's try again, please. Let's get all that out of here. Right. Yeah, so that works. If I do... Oh, wait a minute. Python, is it E? Trying to find, there's probably a flag that lets you pass a string right into the Python interpreter directly, right? Dash M, I think, is dash module, right? Yeah. Oh, here we go. Dash C, program passed in as a string. Okay, so Python. Let me do this. So this Python dash C, and then the Python code program, quote unquote. Yeah, okay, so that works. What I don't know, maybe, let's try this. Since the FreeCAD thing is basically a Python terminal anyway, maybe this solves the problem. Hey, I may have solved the problem. All right, let's try this. Let's do this. Spit out.py. Write FCS of A. Okay, so we've got out.py. Let's get rid of out.step. So if this works, it'll generate an out.step file. How do I view? Is it cat that will print it to standard in? Looks like it. Right. So if I do, how does this work again? It should be cat out.py pipe the result of that into FreeCAD-C. I think it worked. It generated out.steps. So vim out.steps to see if it actually contains information. Ooh, it actually generated a step file, which is really sweet. It looks correct. Does that look like a cube to you? Yes, sure. In all seriousness, how you could actually tell for simpler shapes is kind of look around at, let's see. Okay, so here I've got this Cartesian point that has -50, -60, and -70 as the dimensions. So I know that I drew the cube with total dimensions of 100, 120, and 140, right? So half of those, like if you divide those by 2, then you get these positions, and that makes sense because I translate the cube to its own center point by default, so all of the points are in a spot that makes sense. Okay, but you're not actually going to look at step files with a text editor. I mean, you can, right? But you basically have to parse you have to parse it yourself into a mental representation. It's a little easier to open step files directly, so I don't know out.step if this will actually open in FreeCAD, but let's see what happens. Something's happening, but I'm not quite sure what. Well, that's going. Oh, wow, it actually did open. That's really neat. Oh, it opened FreeCAD. It didn't open the file. I was celebrating a little too early there. You know what? That's fine. I don't care enough to worry about that right now. Point is, that is actually going to work, and I don't even need to learn about process substitution instead. So let's change this up here. FreeCAD command line tool is basically just a Python shell. So you can actually use the Python CLI flags just fine. Python-c print hello. There we go. So I can do the same thing with FreeCAD. Then to export a step file, I can actually pass the whole script as a string, saving the need. Hey, Namless, have to go? That's okay. Best of luck. Thank you so much. I'm glad you tuned in and chatted for a bit. That's it's always fun to have people chatting, so thanks for that. Have a good one, and we'll be back on Thursday if you're interested in popping in then. Obviously no pressure, but you know, that's my schedule, so have a good one. Yeah, take care. You too. So I can pass the whole script as a string, bypassing the need to write /del files. There we go. All right. So let's get rid of this. And we don't even need magic. The magic is literally -c, which is fantastic. And we should check that this will actually work. Yes, let's save this. Let's remove out.py, remove out.step. Okay. And let's run this to step A. Look at that. It totally, I think, worked. Well, let's see. List. There we go. We've got the output we were looking for. Well, that is fantastic. I am going to go get myself a little more coffee. I will be right back. I won't be too long. Hang in there. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I'll be quick. There we go. Okay, let's get back into things. Okay, so another thought that has popped into my brain is, well, I realize I need to. Well, need to is a strong word. I wonder if there's step file viewers that I could use to kind of bootstrap a little web viewer for these step files really easily. Yeah. Oh, this is a pretty September 2020. That's actually newer than I thought. Step to GLTF with CQ parts. Well, this is promising. CQ stands for CAD query. I've worked with CAD query before. Yeah, this is gonna be another. That's something for another day. Another day, another dollar or whatever. Okay, well, actually, let's do the thing. Okay, so this boilerplate here, I actually can comment this like this, and instead of generating a step file, it'll generate a FreeCAD native file, because what I'm doing here, so I could actually make this do both. I'm not going to. I don't need to worry about that too much. That should work, actually. I do know, I have realized that this is now a misnomer depending on the script that I output. So there's work to do design-wise, but that's gonna be fine. Let's open the FreeCAD file, and I want to see what other things I can save out to, and then see if there are like out-of-the-box web server things that can view it. I'm a little tired today, unfortunately. Right, so I don't know why it's not visible, but it does exist. Oh boy, let's have a little gander at the export list here. Yeah. Export. Okay. JSON object, that's fascinating. BREP, OBJ. Okay, so for sure, STL mesh can be viewed. There are viewers for that I could either build or find. OBJ, same thing. I'm pretty sure 3JS has OBJ importer capability kind of built right in. Flattened SVG, I think, is probably not what I expect. Although I am curious to see what that is. Let's have a look at that. Move out.svg to out. Oops. Well, there you go. That's a picture of a box. Kind of lame looking, but hey, that it does work. I wonder, does it export same thing out dot let's now change this SVG. No, it doesn't project like a 3D view. Okay, that's fine. Let's get that out of here now. Oops. Okay. All right, let's export something else. Ugh, always forgetting that. That's okay. Collada file, maybe. WebG. Oh. Well, maybe this will do the trick right away. Let's see what that is. Open out.html. Is that a no-go? Oh, maybe, do I need to serve it? Let's do, let's open this. No, that's not it. Oh, maybe, ooh, no. Oh, I see, kind of. Okay. So it is a 3D model. The zoom doesn't work as I would expect. You don't need to serve it, so that's kind of nice. Oh, maybe there's something, maybe the zoom, no. Well, okay, that's not a big deal. Surely there's a way to work with that. In fact, what I'd like to do is just kind of explore the file out.html. Let's kill this server, we don't need it. Oh yeah, so this is pretty neat. The reason this is pretty cool because I have, here it is. Nope. Where did I put it? Oh yeah. Okay, so I have this Raspberry Pi 4. I have the 8 gig model. It has the USB-C plug. And so does this iPad. So I can actually power and network this to the iPad through the USB-C connection. I've done it and it works. And I use a terminal app to connect to the Pi, and I can do development on the go with it. What I want is some way to view the 3D stuff in the iPad context, and so having the WebGL output as an option for export is pretty, useful for that kind of thing. The neat thing too is, since it generates an HTML thing, I could run it through. I could run it back into Clojure and turn it into Hiccup and manipulate the web page further to actually generate kind of whatever I want, which is really cool. Now, what would be fascinating to do later on is skip the middleman, so I can generate OpenSCAD files and I can generate step files from those OpenSCAD files, but now I'm trying to generate FreeCAD files without using OpenSCAD at all. So I'm skipping the middle person of OpenSCAD, and if all I want is web outputs, I can skip the middleman of FreeCAD too. So this is cool, but it does make me realize that what would be way cooler is if I use the Clojure, if I make kind of a plugin to the Clojure library that emits WebGL directly without having to invoke the huge heavy program that is FreeCAD. But I'm just getting excited and talking about whatever. So this is also pretty I don't want to. This isn't meant to be a rude thing, but it's a pretty simple approach. It's kind of just, yeah, I'm pretty sure what it does is convert every solid shape in your file into a mesh, and then it builds up that mesh into a really simple set of Three.js calls, and then it plugs it into a template. And this currently needs an internet connection to render because it's using Cloudflare CDN in the template. So that's nice, but that won't work in the offline situation that I actually will be using this. So that's maybe a non-starter anyway. Okay, well, good to know. Let's see what else we can do here. Command E, OBJ. Yeah, so the most promising things are the WebGL, the OBJ file, the STL file, and perhaps, oh, these are different model types or different exporters. I don't know. Those seem probably the most promising. It doesn't look like there's a GLTF exporter in this, so that'll be something for another day as well. But that's fine, doesn't matter to me. Let's cancel that. Okay. Oh. I am trying to think about what I can do with my time. I think today's stream will actually be a little bit shorter, probably be done at in around 45 minutes from now. I want to get outside and go on a run or a bike ride or something. And myself be distracted. And I'm okay with it. Okay, so let's have a peek at my watch. We're good to go. Okay, I have one thing that would be kind of cool to do. I'm stuck on so on transforms. I've been avoiding thinking about. Oh, this is the wrong. On transforms here. Oh, I just did the same thing. That's very silly of me. Sorry. Rotate transforms. The actual implementation is not working yet. I'm stuck on it and I'm avoiding it. That's probably an off-stream thing because there will be a lot of trial and error and stuff like that. But maybe it's good to do on stream. I'll have to see. What would be cool, I haven't done it yet, is extrude rotate. So let's try. Let's see if I can get something like that going. Oops. Let's. There we go. Extrude rotate. I want to rename these. I want to make this just extrude and this revolve, but I'll do that later. I don't want to break syntax with OpenSCAD, at least not yet. I'll make those opinionated decisions at another time. Okay. Right, so extrude rotate takes a 2D shape and spins it around an axis to make a 3D solid from it. So what's a good way to show it? Well, let me close this. Let's redefine A as a square. 10. Let's do step out A and wait for that to finish. Good. No error. It looks successful. We'll find out. Yes, it is. Okay. Right, so there it is. Let's try to get this revolve thing to work. So it changed things, but it didn't do things correctly, or at least not as expected. But hey, that's fine. I am the king of unexpected results. Please, that's gonna have to be good. Yeah, so let's go with something like this for the time being. Oh, look at that. It's very flat. There's a lot of Z fighting there. This is just wrong, so let's undo it. Clear the console. Okay, so let's try that again. Revolve. Let's leave the axis as that. There we go. That's closer to what I want. It isn't... No, that would... It's around the wrong axis. That's the thing. I want it to be... I don't want to have to pass in a reference to it, I guess. Let's see here. So the revolve axis is along Y for some reason. I don't know what revolve base would be. Oh, no, I get this. So these end up being derived from the edge that I picked. So -5, -5, 0 is the one corner of the edge that I picked. And then the direction is along that line, which is pointing along the y-axis. So you get a -1. +1 would be theoretically equivalent. So then the angle 360 makes sense. Solid true makes sense to me. Revolve. Oh, okay. So yeah, so here's the only difference. Right, so let's do this. Transform. Okay. So what just happened there? I'm not sure I want to do that. What I'm going through, so the revolve itself is not actually that difficult. The only issue is in OpenSCAD, a sketch will just sit on the XY plane, but when you revolve it, it will implicitly revolve around Z. So a sketch might be sitting like this, but what effectively OpenSCAD does is it it rotates the sketch up to like around the x-axis by 90 degrees and then does the revolve around Z. The revolve that I'm about to do won't have that built in, so it'll be facing the wrong direction. But I'm going to start with that as a basis because there's no harm, no foul, and then I'll adjust things from there. So I'll get something that at least works, and then I can change it to be correct. So what's a good basis to start with here? Well, let's actually take extrude linear and do extrude rotate. So the keys we need here, all it needs to be is what do I have in the model? 3D, extrude rotate, convexity and angle. So convexity is kind of optional, and I'm gonna ignore it for now. So extrude rotate, keys, angle. So let me just cover my bases here. This is angle. When angle, angle. Nope. If angle, angle. Else 360. let's actually float that. Oh, I should turn on par edit. There we go. So this is a cheap way to, angle doesn't have to exist. So if it's nil, set it to 360. If it does exist, just make sure it's a float. Revolve.source has to be the sketch. So I need to do this instead of what? That was weird. There we go. Yes, okay. Okay. So the source is the sketch itself. So I have to add source into the code, and let's call this revolve. So the angle is that angle. You have to create the expression from the form, which will be the sketch itself. Base is a vector. Yeah. No, it's not. It's a point. So the base actually should be 0, 0, 0. His name should be source name. Get name of the source. So source is there. Add object part revolution. It'll have name, which is generated from here, so it's perfect. So then that name dot base. Let's start with source dot source, like this. Is doc dot source name. Boom, done. The revolve axis, let's do that. Yeah. Revolve dot axis equals what's the right let's do it this way. Vec string. The axis is 0, 1, 0, right? Okay, that looks promising. Is that gonna work? Yeah, it should be fine. So the axis is some vector, so along y. The base, I'm gonna assume is 0, 0, 0, right? That makes sense. Revolve dot base same approach, vec string. Yeah, okay. Revolve angle, there we go, that's a nice easy one. Well, actually, let's do this. Revolve angle equals angle, which comes from here. Solid equals true. This is a very simple one to do. Revolve dot solid equals true. And then we new line that as well, so we don't need the vec string thing. Oops, that was a mistake. There's that. Let's see if that's good. It might be, it might work. It just might. I'm realizing that I wrote this in a really silly way. Instead of doing string here, I should have just done no. Maybe it. I feel like there's a cleaner way to do this, is the moral of the story here. And that's fine. Let's try this. Let's do. Oops. Let's do write expression of extrude revolve extrude rotate actually is the right thing. A. Nope. Extrude rotate so it generates something. Let's try it. Let's close this. Don't save, please. I expect this might not work, but let's try run it through. Let's redefine A first of all. Is extrude rotate with no angle. Translate. Let's mess around with that a little bit, shall we? Let's translate something 0, 25. No, let's just do 20. 0. And that something we're translating is a square of size 7. Okay, so let's do to step of A and see what happens. Error. Cool. Unknown. Hey now, that's not cool. Right. Okay. Dealing with bots, that's an unfortunate part of the deal. Unknown exception, invalid syntax. I'm not quite sure what happened, but hey, that's fine. Let's work on that. Okay, what could be going wrong here? What did I miss? Print line, write FCS of A. Oop. Wrong. Not what I meant to do. Have to do this. There we go. Let's just do the good old copy paste approach for a moment. Right, now let's try to figure out what went wrong here. Oop. Nope, please. There we go. Okay, we've got something's not quite right here. Oh, what's this? Is that does this all work up to here? I'm trying to figure out what works up to where. I'm trying to figure out the flaws in the plan. Yeah, okay, so all that works. Doc recompute. Okay, so we've got that. We do have, oop. Right, so we've got the sketch working. So the part that's not currently working, where are we at here? Is this revolve, add object. Wait, is this working? Syntax error. Okay. I see, kind of. Part revolution. This should probably be like this, right? Like that? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so let's see if the rest of this will work now, actually. Why not, right? Copy this, paste that. Nope, not quite. Okay, well, let's fix the syntax error here first. That's easy enough. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That fixes that nice and easily, actually. Boosh. And now we have to figure out the rest of these problems, which are not syntax errors. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, did I do the thing where I did it wrong? Axis equals 0, 1, 0. Hey, there we go. Doc.revolve.base equals 0, 0, 0. Yeah. And doc.revolve.angle equals 360. And doc.revolve solid equals true. Doc.recompute. Hey, there it is. Okay, so that will do the trick. Kinda. I wonder if I change this to 180, if that'll actually change things. Ooh, weird. So it's wrong. That's really cool. Let's try this whole bad boy again. Let's also redefine A to be this, but let's not translate it on Y, let's translate it there. Actually, let's also make sure let's just be safe here. A is floats. Try again. Let's do this. Yes. Okay. That is phenomenal. It's working. Sweet. That's so cool. All right. Let's try a non 360 angle. How about that, huh? Angle 45 degrees. Will that be right? It might be totally wrong because it might be radians, but let's see. We'll try it. There's no reason not to. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Shoot. That's not what I meant to do. Hey, it works. It's probably not the correct angle, but I can change that quickly enough by doing this. Right, let's do divided by 2. No, sorry, divided by 4 math pi. That should bring us to what we need, probably. Oh, no. No, it did not. Maybe it was... Maybe I was... weird. Maybe I was right with the degrees. Let's... make the angle 180, so it'll be easy to tell. Oh, I did 18. Obviously that's not right. One more time. Yeah, that's 180 for sure. Nice. Okay, that's really cool. I love it. So, should we solve the other problems? I mean, yes, obviously. But let's not today. Let's not save that. Let's bring this back here. Let's see if this works. Step A. Let's go over here and open out that, and it should be the same file. There we go. Beautiful. Let's do one more thing. Let's change this back to step output. I have to do that over in the boilerplate post amble. Why don't I? No, that's fine. Okay, that looks like it properly exported, which is good. And let's now, right, open. Where are ya? Give it a second, it should refresh. There we go. This should look the same. Yes, it does. When you export to a step file, it does, like, there's no sketch data or anything like that. So it's a dumber solid, but it's working, which is really nice. It's quite nice. Oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. I have an idea. It's a long shot, but I want to see what happens. If I do, let me open up a file. I want to try, if I look at the mic, there's a bunch of weird mic stand bass. Yeah, let's try this. Let's copy this, paste this in here. So we've got mic stand bass, and it's a thing. The color thing might be an issue. Let's take last of mic is an extrude rotate. Let's try this one, because I've got polygon and I've got extrude rotate now, so it should actually work. Let's def B as first of last mic stand bass. Right, so it's an extrude rotate. It's just a slightly more complicated shape, so it should work, I hope. Let's go out to step of B. Ooh. Right, Y. Regex issues. I wonder. Oh. Well, there is a Let's change up just a little bit here. Let's define B to be rotate, extrude rotate of mic stand bass dash sketch. Okay, let's give that a shot now. Let's go to step B. Okay. So it's not a one-to-one transfer yet, but that is purely my own fault. That's not a problem with the shapes or anything like that. Let's go ahead and open that step file and see what it looks like. Yep, should be good. Oh yeah, okay, that is great. So this looks pretty much exactly like it's supposed to. It's the shape. Ah, that's really exciting. I'm super happy with that. 246. Let me have a peek at things here. I think I'm probably gonna call this stream done a little early today. Because I'm pretty tired. The chat's pretty quiet, and that's okay. It just means I want to get going, I think. Yeah, I'm clearly not focused very much right now, so I'm gonna call this stream good. I made a little bit of progress. I had a nice conversation at the start, which was really nice. I love doing that. Two things that I progressed on were figured out how to pass the Python script into the FreeCAD shell call without having to write it to a file first. Big win, because it just keeps the folders a little cleaner. The other thing is I figured out how to do the start of a revolve extrude, and it's actually done. The next thing I want to do is get my translate and rotates working flawlessly, because then I can just use those transforms to position shapes in the same orientation that they would be in OpenSCAD, so that you have a one-to-one recreation of shapes both in OpenSCAD and FreeCAD. So those are great. I also explored some of the export options that FreeCAD provides, and I was just thinking out loud about how I can use that. No real plan on that front, but it's good to see what the options are. And then I tested this shape, which works in OpenSCAD and works in terms of the shape's correct appearance through my FreeCAD exporter, which is really exciting. It's a good step forward for sure. All right, that's going to be all from me. Thanks for watching. Yeah, that's all I got. I will see you later. Bye.